Saturday morning is a mark out thing when friends get together and one of them sings for the intro to a show about marking out and it's time to go. Saturday morning's time for Mark Out Mania. Angie's here for her 5th time, I tell you. It's time for Mark Out Mania. For Mark Out Mania.
That was nice. That was good. That was all right. Not too bad. Got that Johnny Cash going on.
Thank you. Hey, welcome everyone to the Mark Out Mania.
Yeah.
And welcome back for her 5th time joining the 5 Timers Club with Casey. It's Angie.
Yay! Thank you guys. Where's my jacket?
Angie, we spared no expense. Okay, we got the finest. We got the finest tailors north of Saskatchewan. They're putting together the finest quality of rayon, plastic, and polyester to conform a nice Dodger blue fake velvet jacket that has the big number 5 on it. Just
Dodger blue, yeah.
No expense spared here at Markout Mania. Welcome to the 5 Times Club. It's a pleasure to have you.
Hey.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
Always glad to have our guest from the West.
Yes. Thank you so much for waking up early.
Yes,
good job.
Of course. Thank you.
So we weren't around last week.
Sorry.
Yeah. Hey, that's no problem.
We didn't say it was because James was on a bender for his 50th birthday.
Oh, gee, thanks, Zeus.
He's saying it now, but he didn't say it then.
Yeah, we didn't say it was for your long weekend. Is that what they call it? Or no, the lost weekend? Is that what it's called? The lost weekend?
I was doing some reflecting, yes.
I think it was what did somebody say? It was like Scarface without the guns?
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. That's funny.
A lot of stuff has happened these last 2 weeks, no?
Yes.
Since we were last on. There's an NXT takeover. There was a backlash.
I didn't see that.
And then just a bunch of New Japan is back.
That's the actually saving grace of all this, because I think because I'm starting to become disillusioned with wrestling again, because Vince fucking McMahon has stuck his nose in NXT and fucked it all up. So thank goodness. Yeah, I know, Zeus. I know. Thank goodness for New Japan coming back, because it was like life again in my lungs. I was like, I could breathe. Finally, wrestling. No bullshit. No stupid vignettes. No fucking landing by the pool with fucking Fat Jose, whatever the fucking name is, and they're kissing and making out. None of that bullshit.
James, take it easy.
No, because I'm pissed because it was a whack NXT takeover. They were praising it online. Oh, it's one of the best takeovers ever. What fucking crack were you smoking? Okay, that was shit takeover. Yeah, one decent match. Anyway, I digress. Hi, Angie.
That was my first takeover I watched, and
it sucked.
You want to know what the weirdest thing for me was? That I kept expecting a commercial to happen in the middle of every match. I'm like, wow, this is weird watching them, wrestle from beginning to end without a commercial in here.
Shout out to YYH in the chat room.
Double Y, double H, what's going on?
Deborah Beach, what's up?
Y2H2.
So I feel like before we get into all the wrestling shows, marking out, we should just get out. If anyone wants to say anything about the big story going on, you don't have to go into specific things. Just
it's got to be addressed. It has to be addressed. It has to be addressed.
It's terrible.
It is.
I mean, it just. I mean, I mean, you know, it's like Pedro said. I mean, wrestling's a scummy business, and it's always been a scummy business. But we gotta, you know, we gotta make it better.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would like to think in this day and age, especially with so much access with social media and everything's being filmed and everything, and you know, like during the Me Too era and all this and all that, these things, you know, these people would think differently, you know, would you know, have more common sense. But again, it's like what Pedro was saying the other day during our chat. He goes, you know, all the wrestlers today were all trained and groomed. Well, all the old school wrestlers of yesteryear. So
who were also trained and groomed by the people before them.
Right. So like it's systemic.
Cycle. Yeah, it's a systemic cycle that's been going on. The last 2 years, especially, I've seen conversations with younger fans where they're like, "Well, our stars, you know, the newer stars, they aren't like the old guys. You know, they're not like the '80s, the '90s, they're not going to do all that stuff." You know, they're not going to treat people bad. And it's like, who do you think trained these people? Like,
you know, and it's tough. On Twitter, I'm not going to say, you know, who I had a tweet with, but she was just totally crushed by some of these allegations because she was, you know, some of the names that were brought up were she was fans of. And she was really crushed. And you have to remember, there are bad apples everywhere. And regardless where football, anywhere, football, baseball, bad apples exist. But really take the time to support the good ones. You know?
Yeah, I agree, definitely.
That have not had any allegations brought up against them. Support, you know, if you love the sport, continue to support it, is what I'm trying to say. Don't let a few bad apples ruin the whole experience.
The thing that gets me upset is, like, I've read a lot of stuff on Twitter, and then I hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, but now she's coming out. Now she's saying this. How come she didn't say this before?" You can't say that. You can't do that because it affects people different ways. You know, you know, I don't care if it happened 10 minutes ago, 10 days ago, 10 months ago, or 10 years ago. Okay, it takes strength and courage to come out and say shit that happened. You know, you do got to support the people as well too. You know,
and the environment, the social environment is changing in terms of stuff being like able to come out, and social media is so revolutionary in so many ways across the world, and you know, just everyone has went from being spectators to being like more participants in like this greater thing of attention. Like we're all getting, you know, vying for each other's attention, and like just an average person can just step up to, you know, their social media and catch people's attention.
And it has such an open forum, or such a forum that you realize that you're not alone.
Yes. Yeah.
Not to sound like I'm making a joke or anything, but you know, one of the downsides of social media is it made a lot of people attention whores. You know, everybody wants to look at me, look at me, look at me. So they're going to say stuff and they're going to comment on stuff, even though you would think, you know, hey, you know, you shouldn't be saying that, or, you know, you shouldn't say that to this person. But you know, they want to collect the likes, you know, or the retweets, or and you know, and unfortunately, it's turned them into attention wars. You know, I'm not going to be on Twitter no more. I refuse. And then 5 minutes later, I'm back. Like, who gives a shit? You know, like, come on.
Yeah, no, you have a point. It's totally valid point. And if you go on Twitter, you will see some, you will see some things where people are going for the likes, and they will say something that they know is going to grab attention. But
even at the detriment of others. That's what I'm talking about. You know.
I mean, I don't want to mention any specific names in these situations, just because, you know, it's better to let things play out. And
Yeah, and some allegations are being investigated.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
But,
There's one person came back from Twitter and goes, "I'm back," and then I wrote, "In spite of popular demand," but that's okay. But go ahead.
James, every time you do the "I'm back," I think of that thing with Paige about the Paige here.
Oh yeah, Angie, I'm back. You went back 17.5 million fucking times. Now shut up with your inflated lips.
Oh my god! Oh, Paige looks so different right now. But
yeah, I know. She's. I don't know what the hell happened. Fucking Botox
Oh my
going wild.
goodness, Paige! Oh, geez, stop already. Whatever is happening, just lay back. Just stop.
Botox gone wild.
Oh, she looks so different. Like,
but
not.
it's her it's her life. Let her live.
She was like I'm telling you, man, she was like a pale Mr. Potato Head. She was like somebody took oversized lips and put it on her face.
It's her life, her face, but somebody's got to tell her.
Hey, listen, Pedro, you know what? Yeah, I'm about to have two, possibly three major surgeries. You think I give a shit what comes out of my mouth now? I don't care.
Oh my god!
And when you talk about abuse and abusers, and sadly, it's like you're saying. I mean, sometimes you can throw the word systemic out, and people don't understand what you mean, but it means that somebody else abused the person before you, mm-hmm. and people are either become a victim of it, and some people become another abuser, and either way, the abusers learn. They learn from their own early mistakes, and then they use this knowledge against you, and they'll twist your words against you. They will twist your thoughts against you, and they will do things in places where you can't have any proof. So when people are like, well, where's the proof of this? It's like, well, fucking A. I mean, they did it in somewhere, where, there's no evidence. There's no way to prove it.
Masters of manipulation.
Mm-hmm. And they just, if you haven't been abused, I mean, God bless you. But for people who have been abused, the abusers work hard to try to cover their tracks most of the time. Now, mm-hmm. What happens with some of these guys, it's appearing, where they feel untouchable. Mm. And we're seeing that, with some of these, with some of these, abusers potentially. And like I said, we'll see more as it comes out, but, it just, there you go.
Well, yeah, because what they normally say is that sexual abuse is not mostly about sex. It's about the power. It's about, I have control, and they're master manipulators, and they're going to do it in a way where there's no evidence. And at the time, it's like two people in the room when that happens, It's, it's, yeah.
One thing I noted in a lot of the discussion I saw about this stuff was how many people were saying they stopped taking their wives or their girlfriends to wrestling shows because people would hit on their wives and girlfriends, like very, between fans and wrestlers, they would, get harassment and stuff. And I was like, yeah, probably a good thing Stephanie does not like wrestling. I would never take her to a show. Because I was thinking about all the shows I went to in the 90s and how bad the 90s crowds were to women in the crowd sometimes.
Oh, I've seen it firsthand, Pedro. I've seen it. You don't want to go to do it. Let me tell you something. And Zeus can attest to this. And let me say something. ECW shows in the '90s were absolutely hard to women. Okay, I've been in a crowd where I'm 6-7 feet away from a woman, and she's standing with her man, who you can't tell is a man because he's scared. And the whole crowd's yelling at her to suck another guy's dick. I mean, it's brutal.
Oh my goodness!
Yes, and the chant broke out. And it's again, it's how a person was raised. I mean, this so goes so in depth, but it's this isn't new. This is so society's wrong in a lot of things. It is, and it's so sad that when people say gender equality and all that is all bullshit, and it's not. It's not, because I personally see some bad shit. It's not. I'm sorry, Angie.
I've been to Lucha Ground tapings. I went by myself. My New Japan shows I go by myself because nobody like that in my, nobody is basically a wrestling fan in my inner circle. I've never had a bad experience at either. I was very taken. I don't want to say I was taken care of, but I was always like pointed in the right direction. And one of the first shows at New Japan, it's a small venue. It's the Globe. It's downtown. It's a very small venue. And actually, it was one of the young lions who actually made sure that I can see, because I'm like really short. And he actually made a point of making sure that I can see where, down from the ring, because I was up on the top. So I've never really had a bad experience. I've always been pointed out, like when I did the meet and greet the last time, like a guy and his girlfriend pointed out, when I was asking what line I should go in, they pointed it out. They showed me where the guy was that I have to show my ID to and all this. So I've always had a very good experience at the New Japan.
That's great. That's excellent.
Yeah, New Japan has always done a great job, I thought. When the shows, the ECW shows I went to here in North Carolina, I mean, it was a lot different because it was a new animal to us. So a lot of people didn't even understand exactly what it was all about when they were going to ECW, because this is still right, like, especially that first show in February was still before they were even on TNN. But there were people that knew. There was, I'd say half the people knew how it was, and but I didn't see it. The wrestlers were still so much the stars that people were focused on the wrestlers more than each other. Now there were some dorks that were cosplaying as the ECW front row fans at that first show I went to in Concord. Overall, I think that, I mean, the experiences I've had, in pro wrestling have been pretty good. I mean, it's never been anything more than like, it's never been anything sexual or violent that I've seen. And I mean, I've sat in every different kind of a section for every different kind of a show. Right. So,
I mean, I've seen some shit in the Philly shows, and then like in the New York shows were brutal. But I mean that's nothing that's nothing compared to being attacked by the Halitosis chick. But that's all different story.
Well, I saw
the audience was extreme. They're watching extreme wrestling, so the audience is going to be extreme. It's
you're sitting in the venue that's 150 degrees and you're all sweating and next to each other, and you're on top of each other, and half the audience is all hopped up on either fucking pills or they're drunk. So it's a toxic environment. No, it's true.
Yeah, I think the drinking has a lot to do with it because I know like WWF and WCW shows I went to in '98 and '99. I saw women being targeted for, show your tits, this and this.
Please. That was a constant chant. Yeah.
All kind of things like that. At that ECW show I went to in 2000, there was this one girl. She was sitting like in the first or second row, and she was, they were brutal towards that girl. They were just like, show your tits, show your tits, show your tits. And like, she was just trying to like, I can see her like trying to bury herself in her arms.
Yeah.
Like trying to hide herself. And they'll be like, you're a bitch, you're a bitch, you're a bitch. And all this stuff. And the crowd was just so like angry, so aggressive.
Yeah, but there are idiots everywhere too. So it's not just wrestling. It's not just wrestling.
Something I saw back then a lot was fights. There's always fighting in the crowd because people be getting drunk and fighting. I saw this even at WrestleMania 17. Like people were like getting in fights. There was like 2 or 3 fights around our area. There was one where in the section above us, someone like threw a drink and it hit someone's kid, and then that guy's dad went to fight with whomever, and so that's
the thing I don't get, because you go to WrestleMania, you pay like an arm and a leg for those tickets. I'm not getting thrown out by fighting. I'm not fighting, so but this thing happens everywhere also, because it's not just wrestling. I've been in situations where I took my ex-girl to Yankee Stadium, and so she had to defend me. It's everywhere.
Stadium, there's been some like back in the day, not anymore, of course. But
it's different.
There's been some pretty good brawls there.
But it's it's just sad what's going on this week of wrestling, and the actual wrestling on TV, doesn't make matters. Doesn't help it, because the wrestling on TV has been absolutely sucked.
Well,
hey, thank God this week it hasn't been that bad, because I did enjoy that tag team match with Bayley and her Sasha Banks.
Well,
the NXT on Wednesday, that was a good match.
Everywhere.
Yeah. And Bayley's absolutely stunning.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Oh, they're both great together.
Oh, they're fantastic. And you know what? I have to say this. I got 2 new favorite wrestlers. One, Shotzi Blackheart. She's killing it. Okay? And I'm like totally head over heels right now for Sonya Deville. She came out yesterday wearing an all-black suit with the vest and a tie. Her look, she's killing it. She's killing it. Thank God they got her away from Mandy Rose, that stupid tag team.
Well, let's get into some of this. Let's go back to the NXT takeover from not last week and the weekend before. Did everyone see that? Did you see that, Angie?
I did not. No.
Okay. Any quick thoughts on that? I barely remember it now.
It was so good that I forgot it.
To me the big thing was Killer Cross. The Killer Cross match, made the statement, much like we thought, and we hoped that that Killer Cross, just destroyed Ciampa. And then the other big thing was I was kind of surprised, that Velveteen Dream didn't go over Adam Cole and that cinematic match straight out of Lionheart.
I forgot about that. I forgot about that, man.
I couldn't see half the mess because I felt like the fucking car lights were in my face.
That's because the car lights were in your face.
Oh, okay.
I thought Finn Balor versus Damian Priest was a pretty good match, actually.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good.
That was probably the best solid, match.
Yeah.
But it was not a takeover. To me, that was not a takeover.
I didn't go crazy for the women's 6-man tag because it was really sloppy. It was super sloppy. And Keith Lee, Johnny Gargano was fine, but I wasn't crazy for it. But I did think Balor Priest was good. The cross thing was exactly what it needed to be, I felt. And then the main event, the women's 3-way, there is some fine work in it, and I love the result. But I mean, it wasn't, spectacular or whatever. It wasn't like a great match.
Yeah. Well, just needs to put Vince McMahon in a home already and get him away from wrestling.
Are y'all burnt out on the cinematic wrestling? Because I'm finding I'm kind of burnt out on the cinematic wrestling thing.
It should have ended after Undertaker AJ Styles. One and only, that's it, done deal.
It's not done as well as what we're used to either.
That is true.
I think that
we're spoiled by Lucha Underground.
Right.
Yeah.
I definitely think that's very true. I mean, they had the look and the camera angles and all that stuff was so much better, so much more well done, and I think that. Yeah. Oh, I mean, they set the bar very high. And it's sometimes it's people and their new toy. It's like, oh well, we're gonna do this till it runs into the ground. And then we're gonna blame it on the reason that we're gonna do better in the future. I mean.
Sticking with the NXT, between last week and this week, I like what they're doing with Santos Escobar / El Hijo del Fantasma
/ Pablo Escobar Jr. Zeus calls him. Yeah.
Yeah. While I was just getting used to his mask.
Yeah, after you bitched about it for like 3 weeks and now it's gone.
I started to I was like looking at close-ups of it, and I saw some places that where you could actually where he's got some for sale. So
I like this whole thing, how they're doing it though. I gotta admit, it's kind of cool.
Have you been following it, Angie?
I have not watched it. I watched. I made a point of watching AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan. I actually made a point of watching
that. That was a pretty good match.
Because I love AJ Styles. I mean, I just love him. But I have not watched any. I watched some AEW, and that's about it. Other than that, I was just waiting for New Japan.
Angie, after last week's AEW, I'm just like out. I can't.
Pedro is officially banned from watching any AEW.
Are you calling it?
Do I?
Pedro, you're calling it. You're out.
Yeah, to me, it's too painful to watch. Like
it is. It really is. I have to watch it in snippets, and it got to a point where I was flipping between that and next.
Yeah.
And suddenly something else came, like where I wasn't watching either at some point. But I did watch some of the tag team with Best Friend and Sammy Guevara and Chris Jericho.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's that I watched. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's really painful. It's tough. It's such a. I don't even know what to say at this point about AEW because it's really disgusting.
I know what to say. It sucks.
James, the big problem for me is just and now I'm just saying for me, okay? Let me put this out there. This is the big problem for me. I can't handle the illogical way that they book things and that they build up to matchups. Everything is just so convoluted and stupid. And I mean, there are things that could be so much simpler.
Mm-hmm.
and they don't do it. And then there are things like they'll heat someone up to have like something with one of the Elite or with Jericho or Moxley.
Yeah, there's
and
a lot.
Well, what I was going to say was then after they have their run with either the Elite or Jericho and Moxley, they're just put into like limbo. They just spin their wheels on the side.
Yep, I agree.
Well, they're wearing
agree.
oversized suits, eating steak.
No, it's just very. They have no idea. I don't think they have any. I think they're going basically like one show at a time instead of like looking at the bigger picture, and they're not utilizing a lot of their talent.
I mean, it would be so easy for me. It would be easier to get the booking in AEW and fix it. Like you couldn't fix the in-ring style. That's like one area. Like it's still going to be kind of have bad ideas and stuff that you can't really do that much about because of the people involved.
Mm-hmm.
But the booking, you could at least someone could come in and make the booking make more sense and give everyone up and down the card something to do.
Yeah,
that would be real easy to do. But like as compared to the WWE, there's so many people in the WWE. It would be very difficult to go in and fix that.
Right, and also in the WWE, they stick with their favorites, not generally what the fans would like to see go over, but they do stick with their tried and true.
But I do want to point out that, it's just, to me, the problems I have, because their fan base is very in love with their product, and they're behind it 2,000 gazillion %, and they have enough of a fan base that they're going to be fine for however long. So they're doing fine for their fans. So.
Yeah, no, I
That's really
agree.
true.
I do, and it's just AEW is proved to myself, and again, I'll say it for me, it's just proving so disappointing. I can't even believe it crashed and burned so fast.
Oh, I'm still mad I paid $50 for that pay-per-view the first time.
Now, well, speaking of pay-per-views, Zeus, you saw a Backlash, right?
Right.
I missed it. How was it?
Angie, did you see any of Backlash?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay, Zeus, I only saw 2 matches, so Zeus saw more than I did. Tell us about Backlash.
I don't remember very much. It was okay. Nothing really stuck with me. It was, and I was tired too by the end of it. I mean, a lot of people really loved that Edge and Orton match.
I was going to ask you about that. How was it? Because it was so hyped up. Said the greatest wrestling match of all time.
Right, on Twitter it was going, yeah.
And see that worked against it, you know, because I mean everybody's got their own idea of what the greatest match is, you know, and most of us feel like we've already seen it in, one way or another. I mean, the Ric Flair and Steamboat, any of those matches that they've ever had, Steamboat and Savage from WrestleMania 3, Bret Hart and Steve Austin. I mean, there's so many matches that have been great that weren't. You didn't have to tell us,
right,
that it was going to be great beforehand. Okay, but this was kind of a Legends match, and it was, it was a big deal, and but I was too tired, and it didn't pull me in.
Edge got hurt in that match, Zeus?
Apparently, he pulled a tricep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's some point in the first 20 minutes I noticed a discoloration around the tricep area. So
I heard it was like an hour and a half long. This match. I heard it was like ridiculously
no,
long.
it's more like 44 minutes or something,
That's
somewhere
still
in there.
true.
That's a good time for a WWE match.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
Zero's here.
Zero, what's going on, man?
Hack the planet.
He said it was far better than the WrestleMania match, but nowhere near the greatest match. Hell, I love the Profits, Viking Raiders, LSD trip shit far better. Oh, we're gonna get into that here in a moment. The WrestleMania match was brutally painful, as we know, because I think all of us were on here when we talked about that WrestleMania, weren't we?
I sat through both days back to back, and let me tell you something. That match was fucking brutal.
Angie, you were on the episode we talked about WrestleMania, weren't you?
I don't think so.
Oh, I thought you were.
Somebody was.
Yes, somewhere.
Somebody.
Somebody.
That match, the WrestleMania match, was horrible. I hated the WrestleMania match. It was just like let's show off every room in the performance center.
And then piss somebody off by fucking choking somebody out. Oh, Chris Benoit.
I know the Chris Benoit spot, like the side spot, like I mean, I don't know what's going on this year with some of these spots. You had that, and then in the Stadium Stampede, days after the Shad, right? Yeah, after he had drowned, they're like, let's do a drowning spot. And you're like, what is with some of the ideas going on?
I'm telling you, it's going to be a big year for Dark Side of the Ring if they get their contract renewed.
Oh my god! Yeah, they probably were the only people happy about this the last few days. They probably were like, ooh.
Yeah, some new episodes are coming up.
This greatest match ever thing. It was okay. I didn't care for the match myself, but they put a lot of effort into it. I just want to get that out of the way. Both Edge and Randy Orton put a lot of effort into this match. It just wasn't connecting, in my opinion. The stars were not aligned. And these are not two guys to put on the greatest match of all time. There are two guys who can deliver solid WWE style, fare. They're not going to give you. I mean, how many 4 or 5-star matches are attached to Edge and Randy Orton? Seriously.
And then on top of that, Pedro, supposedly this Monday on Raw, you're going to have Ric Flair. He's going to show up on Raw and declare it the greatest match of all time.
Oh no! Don't tell me that.
Oh my god!
That's what they're advertising. So let's see what happens.
What is Rick? No, Rick. Why?
I don't know about Ric Flair, but I saw a bunch of 50-year-olds the other day who were kicking major ass in New Japan. We'll touch on that soon.
Yeah, we'll get on that soon. But Zeus, let's. I want to ask you about the thing Zero brought up. This Viking Raiders, Street Profits, thing. I don't know what. It's not really a match. A thing.
Right.
What did you think about this?
Well, okay, so I thought it should have been much earlier in the show. Because it's a lighthearted piece. It was supposed to be comedic and everything. And I like I said, it to me it did not fail because those guys didn't put everything into it. I thought Street Profits and Viking Raiders, everybody put 100% into doing this thing. That just it once again, you got people trying to do things in this cinematic way, and it just doesn't work when you don't know what you're doing, and they don't have the people that know what they're doing. Okay, so hats off to everybody. And Crazy Tozawa and he looked like an anime character when he was speaking, when he confronted them. And like I said, it was a cluster. And I've seen, like I said, I like you remember Nitro. Remember when when WCW created. Listen. Remember when they created 3 count?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I was laughing with 06.
Oh, I missed it. I can't.
Keep going.
I can't have the YouTube page open.
Yeah, keep going.
So anyway, so they created 3 count, and I thought that those guys did not want to do that.
Yeah,
you
courageous. Oh my god!
Right? They didn't put everything that they had into doing that. Now, Brian Christopher and what's his name? They may not have wanted to do that at first either, but they went in and they became those people. And they owned it.
They made it work, right? They made it work.
And yeah, they put everything they had into it, and they made it work. So, I was kind of the same thing as like, I feel like that, that there's people who aren't trying to make it work, and nobody cares, but people care about these guys. And most of the time, you see,
I had a decent match on Monday on Raw.
It's like, can't we just have a good tag team match?
Right.
And I think that, in some of these, pay-per-views where you got both brands going and so much other stuff, I think they were looking for something, something different for the fans. But like I said, just the execution of it was terrible. And then they're jumping off of one of the trailers into a dumpster, and there's poor No Way Jose's face. They released him, but he's on the end of the trailer, and his head is like 7 feet tall, on the side of this trailer, and they're jumping off the trailer over his head, and I'm just like, ain't that a kick in the dick? I'd call, be like, hey man, I want $100 for my fucking face on this damn pay-per-view.
Hey Zeus,
Never heard that before.
Yeah, I'm gonna start saying that.
Hey Zeus, so what happened inside that dumpster?
I don't remember. I think they were talking or something.
They did the call back to the female referee finding the guy with the beard attractive and the guy with the hair and beard in Viking Raiders attractive, and the bald guy not, and then a monster attacked them.
Yeah, you're okay. Yeah, no, you're really good looking. Well, you not so much.
Yeah, and then this tentacle, like a monster tentacle.
A monster.
Oh yeah, they recreated the Star Wars the trash compactor scene.
Oh.
Yeah, that was stupid. That's probably when I stopped paying attention to that.
Oh, thank God I missed this. Thank God for deep dish and fresh mozzarella.
I feel Katie Vick is a worse thing than this. Is worse than this thing. But yeah, this was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. But I will agree. Yeah, they tried to give their all in it, but it was pretty bad.
Yeah. Hats off to those guys for fucking trying.
Yeah.
I had a decent match on Monday at Raw, though. I heard like all 4 of them teamed up together. The 8-man, it was pretty good. I hear online, people were talking about, that was a good, that was a good 8-man on Monday night with, the Prophets and the Vikings.
I am really unhappy with how they're booking Asuka's title run. But
that was weird, wasn't it?
So, what was the deal, Zeus? Yeah, there was a count out. It was a double count out.
Yeah,
double count out.
Double count out, and then she beat Nia like the next night on Raw via a fast count by the referee.
And then Nia beat the shit out of the ref or something like that. I heard.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
And the week before, Asuka and Charlotte had it was a really good match, but once again, guess what Asuka was doing to Charlotte? She was jobbing to Charlotte. Or like the
Pedro, you gotta get over that. Okay?
No.
You gotta get over that.
James, she jobs to fucking Charlotte all the fucking
I
time.
know.
I don't have to get over
It's
it.
become a running joke. It's become a running joke. I know.
It's bullshit. It's bullshit.
Oh, see, now I heard it. I heard it, Pedro. Now I heard it.
It's BS. Everyone keeps saying like, "Oh, they're obviously building to Asuka beating Charlotte at SummerSlam," and I'm like, one, I doubt that's gonna happen.
The other way.
I
Yeah.
doubt that's gonna happen.
What they should do is have Io Shirai challenge Asuka belt for belt. That's what they should do.
Well, okay, but I doubt Asuka's actually going to go over Charlotte. And then, two, even if she won this one match, she would job to her again in the future. And it would be like, oh, she had this one win versus a gazillion wins by the other person.
Hey, she had a 3-year undefeated streak. That wasn't enough for you?
She had an undefeated streak that was made to put over Charlotte more to set up the Charlotte Ronda match at WrestleMania, which they ended up having to change because Becky got so over. That was the whole point of her having the undefeated streak, was to bona fide Charlotte more. Yeah. I can't be whatever about that. It drives me up the wall. But let's talk about something good.
Yeah, something real good.
New Japan.
Oh,
Angie, New Japan.
Before New Japan starts, I just want to bring up the fact that Access did not continue WoW's contract, and I'm really disappointed. But go ahead.
Oh, for what? Yeah,
I hadn't
really?
heard this.
Oh, I heard that there may be a Knockouts show spinning off of Impact.
Oh,
Really?
is that why they're not? That's why they're not doing WoW, huh?
That's a rumor I saw.
I like WoW.
I'm really disappointed.
Yeah, you went to.
You went to a few tapings, right, Angie? You went to a couple of WoW tapings?
I did. I did, and I'm really disappointed that they're deciding not to continue it. I don't know what the status is with Access and New Japan, because by the time I went on and got the site, so I don't know exactly what Access and New Japan's deal was, but
It's over.
I was really hoping,
Yeah, it's done. That's it. Kaput.
I was really hoping that they would continue with WoW, and they obviously chose not to. So we'll see. And
Access is all about Impact now. That's it.
Yeah.
Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't the deal that Anthem bought Access, and then they came? New Japan's deal was coming up, and they said, "Oh, we'll renew if you work with Impact." And New Japan was like, "Haha, bye." Isn't that how it went?
That was part of the deal. That was part of it, but the money wasn't going to be good, and then the hats were. They didn't give them a choice. It was in the new contract that they had to. So, so after that, New Japan said no, because you're not going to force us to work with somebody just to be on TV in America. So that was that. They're done. So,
but if you pay slightly less than $10 a month, you can get access to all the New Japan you want, and you got to watch awesome New Japan this week.
You know what? That was the best non-audience wrestling, and I seen ever since this whole no audience wrestling started. The best matches I've seen were in the past 2 days.
100% agree. They did not need the audience. They did not. I absolutely 100%. You just didn't notice. It was crazy.
I love how the ring sanitizers were there. They were scared. They were scared because they kept running around the ring because they didn't want to get hit by a chair or some shit. I was like, look at this shit. What the hell? It's like an outbreak in New Japan. Like, what the hell's going on?
Outbreak in New Japan.
That's very true. I mean, they definitely had everybody's health and safety,
was the priority.
And also, you see, when you're watching New Japan, everything's focusing on the action.
Mm-hmm.
You're not worried if Chunky Clunky, the Funky Monkey, is going to come out from the back and interfere in this match. You know, I mean, it's, you know, we don't have to worry about a cutscene interview in the middle of it. We don't have to worry about all this other nonsense because it's, you know, it's 2 or 4 or 8 or 12 guys, you know, going at it, you know, and
exactly
kicking ass until somebody wins.
Yeah.
You don't also have to worry about being dropped from a 10-story fucking building and then only get a 2 count. No, you know, I mean, come on. No. Actual moves actually hurt.
So you guys know that I drive around the most misinformed person in, like, must be in my entire state. But, you know, I've told you his words of wisdom, like, you know, he said that the sun isn't working, you know, it's not as strong as it was a few years ago. That's why we're going through a little cold snap right now.
Now he's an astrophysicist.
The sun, the nuclear furnace of the sun is not as powerful as it was a few years ago.
Ask him how do you measure the sun's density to come to that conclusion.
I don't know. Anyway, so he asked me the other day, or a couple weeks ago, he's like, what about that wrestler that died? I'm like, you know, you gotta be more specific. He's like, the one that fell off the building, and I'm like, he's like, Eddie Guerrero. I'm like, no, Eddie's been dead for like 30 years. I'm like, Rey Mysterio was fake thrown off a building. He's not dead. He's fine. It's like, oh God. I'm like, just the most. I mean, he like. I don't even know where he gets this information from. But anyway.
Wait, so someone thought like Rey Mysterio legit died?
Yes.
Although he showed up the next day on Raw. That was hot.
What he fell off the building during a match.
Oh my goodness. Hey, I only saw stuff from nights 1 and 2 of New Japan Cup. Angie and Zeus, did y'all watch the show before it?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, the Come Together.
Yeah. Tell us about it, Angie.
Nothing. To me, it was more like getting their form back. Exactly. Nothing stuck out for me. Like, it was just more of them getting their form back. But by days 1 and 2, they were back. It was just, especially Suzuki-gun, and they were just back. It was just like they didn't skip a beat. Once 1 and 2 came on, it was just.
Yeah, they kicked the ring rust off and come together.
Yeah, it was really, It was more like getting familiar again and getting back to it. But by 1 and 2, they were completely. It was like they never took a hiatus.
I tell you like this, you know, because all week long, you know, we kept hearing Pedro in the chat kept saying, "Oh my God, you know, you have to watch Ishii Desperado." Ishii Desperado from night one.
No. The match I was pimping hard was Nagata Suzuki.
Yeah, but you also,
I didn't say Ishii Desperado was a must-see. I said that about Nagata Suzuki. Yes.
So I watched Ishii Desperado from night 1, and let me tell you something, man. I'm sorry, but you got to put a strap on Ishii. I mean, I know he's old and he's been there, done that, but you throw him a bone, give him the Never Openweight Championship. I haven't beat the shit out of people because he was good, but Desperado impressed me. He played a really good heel. Desperado. He was healing up. He was doing good.
I love Desperado, and
I almost threw my slipper in my TV because I thought Desperado's gonna get the 3 count. I was about to have a shit fit.
I love Desperado, but I knew he was like out, like, you know, you kind of like, okay, that's not gonna happen. But Minoru Suzuki, that shocked me. I was like,
him and Yuji Nagata, that was better. They're 2 men in their 50s, and they had a better match than with anything I've seen on Raw SmackDown all year.
And Nagata, his side of his neck was completely beat red.
Oh yeah.
Did you see the kick that Nagata gave Suzuki when he was on his knee? Kicked him right in the forehead.
Oh.
It was just a brutal back and forth, that is the epitome of New Japan right there.
Yeah.
And they were talking shit to each other too, which I love.
Seriously, at that point, I wish I had a translator because I was just like, oh, and then when he just kept.
That was the beauty of it, Angie. Angie, that was the beauty of it. You didn't need a translator.
You didn't. You don't. When it comes to you
just by the inflection of their voices and the reflection of their tone and the expression of their faces, you knew exactly what they were saying.
Oh God, that match was incredible. That match was incredible.
That was stiff. Fucking Suzuki just planted the guy like fucking 10 times in the face. I was like, oh my God.
And they're still standing. Oh, and then when he put it, when Suzuki put his hands behind his back, and he was just like smacking him, and he would go down. Oh my God!
I wonder who paid for drinks that night.
Man, all the Suzuki kept putting that face like he was that sadistic smile, like in love with it.
Yeah, and his trademark. That's like his trademark. That's it. You know. And then they did the was it a triple or 4-man the first night?
Yeah, 8-man match first.
Yeah. So they were better, you know. Just
I like the 8-man match for the second night a little better.
Yeah. Yeah. But that was typical LIG. You know, that was their, you know, Bushi gets the, you know, they pin Bushi. Poor Bushi always gets the pin. You know, they always pin his ass, you know.
Fucking Show and Yo, man, we're going nuts.
You know, he's been, Show and Yo look great too. Those guys are they're not stuck in, you know, who people kind of perceiving them to be. They keep tweaking and changing little bits and things, and I think that's good too because they could, you know, kind of. I mean, let's face it, Yoshihashi is same guy he's kind of always been, you know, and you know, so you know when you got, you know, two guys that love, you know, the business, and they're not set, you know, they're not set in their ways like some, you know, wrestlers are, you know, it's pretty refreshing.
I thought Show and Yo looked good. I thought LIJ looked good. It looked like nobody missed a beat in that match. You notice that?
Yeah,
Shingo looked good.
Oh, but he always looks good, man. Shingo always looks good.
Beast. Shingo is a beast.
Let's talk about beast. You want to talk about looking good? How about Gato? Him and Okada. He lost some weight. He tripped down a little bit. He looked good.
I didn't watch the Okada Gato match because after Nagata Suzuki, I was like, this match is so good. I don't see how Okada Gato can follow this. So
because it was totally different. It was totally different from that. That's why, Pedro. It was totally different.
You know, you could always go back and watch it if you have the New Japan, you know, if you're subscribed to them. But I didn't. When I seen him come out with his armband and all that, I'm like, I really don't want to. You know, I saw it up to Okada's entrance, and that was it. I just like because I'm
nobody watched this match.
I'm not an Okada fan. I'm not.
Oh wow! Oh my God! First you like Gumby, now you don't like Okada. What the hell is wrong with you, Angie?
Wait, Angie, I have to ask you something. Do you prefer Jay White over Okada?
Yes.
Oh my God! That's fucking unbelievable over here. What am I living in here? It's like a fucking bad episode of The Twilight Zone. I got Zeus on one side of me, I got Angie on the other side of me. I swear to God.
I'm not even sorry, James. How about that?
You guys are fucking killing me, all of you. I swear. Oh my God!
I think Jay White's great. I think he's, you know.
Did you watch the Hold on, Zeus. Did you watch the Okada Gato match?
Zeus?
Is he taking the fifth?
God of Thunder?
Zeus?
Hola.
Live, McFly.
Oh my God! What happened?
I don't know. Zeus, you all right over there, buddy? if you can hear us, send us a text or something.
Zeus? Is everything?
Maybe you got muted or something. I don't know.
I don't think so. Let me see.
Okay.
No, his mic's not muted.
No. All right. So you look for Zeus. I'm gonna talk to Angie for a second. Hey, Angie, let me ask you a question.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, James.
You don't like Okada at all?
I don't like Okada at all. I've never liked him. I've
Why?
never liked. I thought he got pushed too much.
Why does nobody like Okada?
Because I thought he got pushed to. I think that he's not as great as everybody makes him seem. I think his moves are repetitive. I just don't feel him. I'm not a fan. I never have been.
You want to talk about hold on. You want to talk about repetitive moves? Jay White does the same shit too.
Yeah, I think Jay White has grown a lot. Like, because he came up.
Hold on. Zeus, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, we were all worried about you.
Yeah.
I snuck out to the restroom while y'all were talking.
Damn it! Okay, Angie and James, continue.
No, hold on, Zeus. It's a question I wanted to ask you because both you guys are fucking killing me. Did you watch Okada Gator, Zeus?
No.
Oh my god! I'm the only idiot watch this match. I'm the only one. You, fucking Zeus and Angie are killing. Okay, I have no love for Okada. There's no love.
Zeus, did you hear us ask Angie about who she prefers over Jay White or Okada?
No.
He knows. He'll know. Watch. Ask him. He'll know.
Okay, who do you think she prefers over Okada and Jay White? Which one? Which one? Do you think?
Angie likes Jay White better.
Yeah.
Thank you, Zeus. See?
That's it. I refuse. I can't. That's it. I
refuse. Well, I mean, he's not as repetitive as
Oh my god! There you go.
I mean, Okada's been pushed so much over the last decade. Come on.
Zeus is justifying everything that I said when you were gone.
She just said the same thing when you were gone, Zeus.
Yeah, she said the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I'm calling HR. I'm calling the tailors in Saskatchewan. I'm telling them not to ship your part-time in plastic rayon jacket. That's it. It's over.
Did anyone like the Togi Makabe versus Yoda Tsuji match?
It was a little long.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of liked it. I was like, they're.
I mean, it's kind of fun, but Makabe, he's kind of
long in the tooth.
There's a reason he's mostly a tag team wrestler.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
Oh, I'm hurt right now. I'm actually hurt.
Really, Mr. ECW guy?
I'm just really cursed. I am devastated. Okada gets no love from you guys. Zero.
None.
Hey, what about that Hiromu Hanma match? Hanma moves so strangely right now. It's like he can barely run, and he keeps his arms at like a specific position.
Actually, that was pretty hard to watch. That was really, really hard to watch.
They're bringing in new young lions.
Mm-hmm. Gabriel Kidd was, yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna have a new weekly TV show, something like that, right? It's gonna be surrounded because it's gonna be based on the young lions.
I think so, but I mean,
yeah.
That the New Japan kind of has a gap. An age gap is kind of. Like 25 to 30-year-old stars, they don't really have many of. I mean, it's I mean, it's it's Ibushi and Jay White. Are the two biggest names who are, I think, that are under 30.
All right, so let me ask you guys a question. How long do you keep Naito as a double champ? How long do you keep him like that?
I would say like at least maybe the next 3 to 4 months, maybe.
Yeah, they got to build up something. I mean, he really doesn't have another challenger.
And it was actually interesting because like both his knees are extremely wrapped up, and when he first walked out on the Come Together show, it was like, oh, okay, he's walking really slow to get to that, But on a different note, I'm not a Tanahashi fan, but when his theme song played on day one, I was like, I got all emotional. I was like, oh my goodness, it's finally back. It was like the stamp that it was back, hearing that theme music.
Mm-hmm.
But the Tanahashi, that 3-way, I believe it was a 3-way. Was it a 6-man?
I think it was
it was 6-man, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a 6-man. Or was it 8-man?
It was an 8-man.
I'm sorry, yeah, 8-man.
They had an 8-man on night 1 and an 8-man on night 2.
Sure, yeah. 8-man.
And that one was totally like typical where they beat him up, It was just, he took his power. Yeah. So, but hearing that music just made me feel so good.
I'm about to order an Okada t-shirt. I'm going to show him some love.
I like Tanahashi.
Yeah. I like Tanahashi.
I don't. I mean, he's okay. I just nah.
My man is fucking Ishii. I mean,
he is great.
Ishii's the man.
He is great.
I was not crazy for Tanahashi's movie, but
I stand alone.
I stand alone.
And then when the reporter in the movie says a wrestler never stays down.
Yeah.
Music by Hans Zimmer. Oh shit. No.
But is back though? Because is Jay White back?
No, he was supposed to wrestle. He was supposed to wrestle Okada.
Oh, that's right. They mentioned that. You're right. Yeah, they mentioned
he was supposed to wrestle Okada.
He's obviously not back, and I don't know if Al Phantasmo's back or not.
I don't think I don't think, because everybody that left hasn't been allowed to come back yet. So no Ospreay, no Jay White. I don't think I think the Gorillas are in Florida.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
So
excuse me. So Monday.
Yeah, but we still get Gumby though, right? That's cool.
Monday and Tuesdays are the next 2 nights, right?
Is that the 23rd? Because I think the 23rd.
The 22nd.
So 22nd and 23rd. Yeah.
So I'm looking at the card. So on the 22nd, it's Tanahashi versus Taichi, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Ibushi, Taguchi versus Sonata, and Shingo versus Sho.
That should be good.
And then
the Shingo show should be really, and that's Sho trying to like get a win against Shingo.
Oh yeah, then to set up a title match because for the Never Belt, and then on the 23rd you got Tenzan versus Yoshihashi, Bushi versus Yo, Kojima versus Evo, and Goto versus Yujiro Takahashi.
That's amazing that Yujiro made it to the second round.
Yeah.
Well, this is still the first round.
Oh, that's right. Yujiro got the win for Bullet Club.
Oh, okay.
At Together Now, yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those look like, especially the 22nd. That looks like a really good night.
And who is Ibushi? Who's Ibushi's opponent?
and
Zack Sabre
Zack
Jr.
Sabre Jr.
Yeah, because they were
my-
joking at each other on their
Yeah.
8 man. They were jawing at each other.
That should be good. They usually have chemistry with each other, so.
Fuck them.
Well, I mean, Zach is that dick you love to hate.
I do.
Yeah, yes, Angie. We all know. We all know you love Zach Dick Dutton Jr. Whatever the fuck.
Hey, he's improved a lot, James.
I know he has, but you know what? He no sold against the wrong man. That's what got me pissed off because you no sold Ishii. I was like, what the fuck?
He no sold everybody up until one point last year.
Yeah. Until the G1, he was pretty bad about no selling, and then the G1 on, he's like gotten better about it. I don't know what change happened, but it's good that it happened. So,
well, either Gato or somebody spoke up and said, "Hey, man, look, we need this out of you."
Yeah, you know? I mean, he's still a young kid, so you know.
And I mean, he might not have been as aware of it, or he might have just been like, "Well, I'm just gonna do it as long as I can to make myself, look good." And they're probably like, "Hey, you really don't look that good when this is happening." So,
especially against people like Ishii, somebody like his stature, you don't do that.
I mean, you really shouldn't do that against anybody that's not like a young lion.
Right.
Yeah, you can no sell a young lion, but not for everything. But
that's what got me pissed at him in the first place. So I was like, ever since then, I was like, but you know what? I'd rather watch him than a lot of other people. I'll tell you that. Like them, I'd rather watch Gumby than watch the Forgotten Pop.
That's been
I know. Thank God.
They're off TV now.
Completely.
Something else that's coming back is Stardom.
Oh yeah,
Stardom comes back tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. Let me see what their show is. Do you have the lineup?
No, I do not.
They may not have announced it. I did see.
I don't think they were going to until the day of.
Yeah.
So, but does it really matter when it's Stardom?
Yeah, probably not. I mean, especially under the circumstances, just anything at this point is.
I mean, they're just so good at what they do.
Yeah, it'll be nice to have some new Stardom. I don't know when it'll make like the We Are Stardom, but I'm sure it will at some point.
And you get to is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, on Mondays, some of us get together and watch it on a watch together. We'll shoot you the link this Monday.
Oh, okay, good, cool, thank you.
I want to do a Blade watch together. That's what I want to do.
Well, I mean, we can do that whenever, but Monday night is We Are Stardom. I mean, I'll watch it this afternoon, tomorrow, whenever the hell you want to watch Blade. We'll watch Blade.
unlike some people, right, Zeus?
Well, hey, you can't make him drink the water.
Yeah, no.
Make him drink the
water. I've seen all three of those movies. They're not like cinematic works of art.
They're not supposed to be, Pedro. That's the point.
I know, I'm saying it's like they're whatever. Like, why am I supposed to have a thing about it?
Because we're giving you a hard time, damn it. That's why.
Yeah, I know. Angie, do you like Blade?
I can't even remember Blade. I know.
Oh my God! First Carter, J. White, now Blade.
That's Wesley Snipes, right?
Yeah,
that is correct. Yes.
The best one to watch, Angie, is not actually the best one, but I just laugh about it. The third one, yeah, because I love watching it just to see when it's Wesley Snipes and when it's the stunt double, because he famously tried to do as little as possible in the movie.
Yeah, and
In the third
Triple H is in the third one too.
Yeah.
Jocko Grimwood. That's his name in the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I ever heard his name that I can remember.
His name is Jocko Grimwood. Ask me why I know. I don't know, but I just know.
That is the worst name this side of a Harry Potter fucking.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That is terrible. No wonder I don't remember his fucking name.
Yeah, it's horrible.
The fact that James remembers, come on.
I mean, James got a lot of useless trivia information in his head.
I'm a fountain of useless information, let me tell you.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
This becomes every person at some point.
Yeah.
But
well, they actually mentioned it too. They actually mentioned in the movie one time. They mentioned it one time. His name.
God, you paid attention a lot better than I did.
I've seen it 964 times.
Yes.
With Ariza Hoshinki retiring, they're gonna have to decide what they're gonna do about the white.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll hear something about that.
Yeah, maybe.
And that would be get a tournament started. So it's.
I mean, and you have a whole deal there. Julia won the Cinderella tournament,
right?
And the person she challenged was Arisa.
Yeah,
and then Arisa retired in that horrible league. And, yeah, but I mean, they just need to get a show, under their feet, and then see how they recover from the horrible thing that happened last month. So.
I was just thinking about something.
Okay.
Hey, Angie, you may not be able to go to a New Japan show for like the next year or two. Year 2 or 3.
Yeah, I know for sure this year is not going to happen.
No, not this year, definitely no. But like, it might be like another 2 years before they come to the States.
I hope it's sooner than that, because it is it's a really fun experience to go to New Japan shows. So I'm really hoping that they'll be back sooner than but I know for sure this year is going to be like not
it's going to depend on how this winter goes. How the Northern Hemisphere reacts to the corona when it gets cold again.
Yeah. Because there's,
so if everybody wear their fucking masks, that would be great. Sadly, I'm an essential worker and I'm out in the public, and the masks are dwindling. There's still people wearing them, but not as many as a month ago. I'm seeing, like, I'm one of the few people that I've seen in a bathroom still washing their hands for 20 seconds.
People not even washing their hands in the bathroom. Look at this. Fucking savages.
I mean, they are, but I mean, it's just like, it's soap, rinse, done in like 3 seconds.
Right.
Half-ass.
Yeah. So,
let me tell you something. Because I'm pissed off at the people of Central Florida, but that's a whole different situation that I don't want to get into. But I'm just going to say one thing. Real quick. I survived 3 heart attacks. I had quadruple bypass surgery. I got a titanium plate in my chest. I got implanted defibrillator in my chest, and I'm currently dealing with congestive heart failure. I have to have 2 more heart surgeries in the coming month. I haven't succumbed to any of that. You think I'm going to go out to a fucking virus named after a shitty tasting beer? All right? People wear their fucking mask. End of story.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I just had to get real for a second.
There you go.
What was that tagline for? Was it The Real World, where they said we stop XYZ and start getting real? Did y'all ever watch that MTV?
Yeah.
I
remember the show where
I
watched the season when the Miz was on.
Oh, that's old. Yeah.
When the Miz was on like won the WWE title, I remember telling Stephanie about it, and she knew him solely from the Real World, from MTV, and she was like, "Whoa!" I remember her kind of marking out like he was always so into wrestling on that show.
Yeah, well, and then he went on to do the MTV The Challenge that I still watch.
The Roll Challenge. Yeah.
I still watch The Challenge. And Luchasaurus was on Big Brother, so
Yeah.
it intertwined.
Nobody's gonna mention that. What? I was gonna
Mr.
say.
Spectacular on?
Mhm.
Oh.
What was Mr. Spectacular on?
He was on
Shit.
something. It might be Big Brother or something.
No, he was Big Brother too. He was.
Yeah.
He was.
Holly Meowie from Lucha Underground. She was in one of those shows as well.
What's his name now on a dating show?
Oh, Matt Stryker is on some freaky one, isn't he? About looking for someone to be a father for their future baby.
Oh my goodness!
Isn't that the gimmick?
Yeah, something like that.
I think that's the nicest way to put it.
Yeah, you spew your manhood in the cup and you give it to the chick. There you go.
Oh my God.
Matt Stryker. I got Matt Stryker's spew. Oh my God.
Stryker got eliminated from Labor of Love.
Labor of Love, that's what it's called, Zeus?
Yeah.
You got eliminated, Jesus.
Though.
It's a competition to see who gets to father the future, the baby,
Right.
Let me look
you're gonna give them a sample, and they're gonna have in vitro, and they're gonna do it by Zeus, but it was like a video. They said, right?
I don't know.
Labor of Love is an American dating game show that began airing on Fox on Thursdays at 9 p.m. on May 21st, 2020. The show is hosted by Sex and the City actress Kristen Davis and blah, 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 blah. Get to the thing. Over 8 episodes, 15 men will participate in challenges and dates that test their parenting and personal skills. Those whom Katzman finds satisfactory will advance to the following episode, and at the end of the series, she will decide, with the help of Davis, whether to choose one of the men to start a family with or not. The show began production in mid-2017.
Yeah, but the whole controversy was like they were gonna start a family like the old-fashioned way. It was gonna be done by in vitro or some shit like that, and because I remember hearing about the controversy,
Yeah, it says the show has sparked some backlash online and has been described by some critics as bizarre and dangerous and gamifying and making a competition out of the creation of life.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
really weird. It was. I mean, I remember the first time we thought about it. We heard about it. I was like, "This is just damn weird."
Yeah.
Why HH? I'm always gonna ask. I'm in a mask, gloves, and even in 95 degree heat, I wear long fucking sleeves just so my skin's not exposed. So I'm safe. Why? Thanks.
Oh my goodness! Any other wrestling things to talk about?
Yeah. So the IQ wrestler, his name's Jacob. He's out of Australia, and he makes these awesome highlight videos. And his newest one is Steve Dr. Death Williams set to Metallica's Creeping Death, and it's fantastic.
Oh, wow.
There's a lot of great obscure stuff from Japan. Probably a lot of us haven't seen it. It kicks ass. Just look up Steve Dr. Death Williams, IQ wrestler, and the guys from MMM show are back. They got a new half episode this week. They re-aired two Sunny Kiss episodes that were real fun. I remembered them, from the first time. So definitely check those out.
Actually, I missed something. I've been watching reruns of Lucha Underground on the El Rey Network.
Yep.
Yeah, right, Angie. Yeah, right.
Yeah. I think 6 o'clock my time. They're airing. They're pretty much every day, and I think Wednesday they're on twice a day. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they're on noon my time, and then at 9 o'clock at night. Yeah. Yeah, but I just want the WWE NXT to push Io Shirai properly. That's all I want to see. A good, proper title run.
Yeah, the end of this week's episode was pretty good with her.
Yeah.
Coming out, and I want to see her versus Sasha and Bailey and all that.
I just want to see New Japan, and I'm looking forward to Stardom.
Yes.
Anyone have anything to plug?
Well, next week is episode 100.
Yes, it is our 100th episode next week.
Crazy.
Wow, 100 episodes. Who would have thunk it?
We're hoping to have a Casey on with us. Tentatively, yes, at the moment. So yes.
Him and Angie are battling for the top spot or guests on MLM.
What, Angie?
I said apparently we are battling for the top spot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think
but winner gets a free toaster. Also.
I think the last time I counted, I think he's been on 6 times. I'm not completely sure.
Has it been that much, or is it 5 times as well?
I mean, I know it's 5 to 6. It's in there.
Horror, Ninja. Oh God, I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to go back and look through the thumbnails and stuff. But
Angie, how's it feel to be on 5 times with us?
It feels great, and congratulations on your upcoming 100. Keep it rolling, guys.
We try. We're walking advertisement. You know, we're a mess, but we do our thing.
I got something to plug.
Go ahead, Pedro.
Friday, June 26th.
Yes.
Friday. It'll be 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific. I think that's right. Yeah. I will have a music special premiering on YouTube called Summer Jam 2020.
Cool.
And
idea is Summer Jam.
Yes. And so
not Summer Funeral.
Yeah, not Summer Funeral. So some things I'll say ahead of it. It will be loud.
Cool.
So yeah, you may want to have a little volume warning there. It is loud. There are 2 guitars, bass guitar, etc. It's loud. And yeah, I promise there shouldn't be any. Nothing should make you reach for chocolate unless it's just you want to eat chocolate for joy. It should be fun. It'll be like around 45 minutes or so. It should be fun. So.
All right, looking for some summer jams.
Summer Jam 2020, June 26th.
No dead songs. No dead people songs. 2020.
Yeah, you will get some of this stuff. Yes, you will be getting some of that. Yeah.
I had a friend and he died. I had another friend and he died.
I should do that. What's that guy's name? The J. Carroll Band or something?
Yeah.
Those people who died. Those are people who died. All my friends, they just died.
Where's the chocolate?
You know what song I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, Pedro. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Angie, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Waking up early and being with us.
Thank you so much for talking. Thank you so much for talking New Japan. It's awesome to talk New Japan with you.
Yeah, it's so great. Yeah, it's so great to have them back.
Much needed.
Just don't shit on Okada anymore, okay?
I'm telling you. Oh, I'm telling you. You refuse to see, Jane.
I'm gonna laugh if we have Casey on and we ask him who he prefers over like between Jay White and Okada, and if he says Jay White and he says Okada's too repetitive, I'm just gonna be laughing my ass off.
Thank you, Zeus, for having my back.
That's right. I didn't even know I had your back. I was just.
That's even worse. He was in a bathroom and he said the same thing you did. That was brutal.
Thank you to YYH and Zero.
Double Y, double H, Zero. Yeah.
Hack the planet.
Oh, only thing better than New Japan coming back on TV is Zero's mom coming back on my TV. You know what I'm saying?
We'll see y'all next week, God willing, for episode 100.
Me and Mrs. Zero be zooming it.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Everyone, take care. See y'all later. Adios.
Oh, man.